This is Russell Scott at scottcarvings.com. Outside again, and what we're going to carve is the bust of the Uncle Sam bust. You will see the patterns will be online. What he's going to do is he's going to just a regular bust, but we're going to add a hand in front, and we'll have a hand which will have a hole in it, which will you can have one of those small flags, those flags that you get from I don't know where you get them from, probably Amazon or something like that. And so I want to get started with the head. The reason why I want to get started with the head is I want to make sure everything kind of fits, so when we start doing the bust, that the bust will fit. Adjust the head to the bust. There we go. All right, let's start with trying to keep finding our pencil here. Now, as I've mentioned before, I like to kind of round things off a bit. See, here's I want to call it the goat tail beard that Uncle Sam has, and the head is going to go a little farther up. There's his hair is kind of swaying back, but then the hat is going to be kind of, see, this is what's going to go away. And get myself situation. This is what's going to go away. So therefore, it's going to come up to here because his hat is kind of swaying back. That's going to disappear. Swaying back. That's going to disappear. And I like to kind of start rounding things just a little bit because to take the corners off, so it'd be a little and much easier to handle when you got corners off. And then I would like to kind of start a little bit on the hat to make sure the hat is kind of okay-ish, whatever. See this come down here. And because we want the hat to fit the head. I mean, we don't want to have a tiny hat, or we don't want to have a huge hat, whatever. But I like to get these corners off. First things first, there's pencil down, and let's get our, I gotta do a dismiss there. All right. And let us get our chisel. This chisel, get our V chisel. And let's get our chisel glove on. I hope you can hear the robin chirping in the background. I just missed it. I was trying to set this up quick enough. He was just behind me and just twirling away, and that's going to bring this in a little bit more here. Again, we're outside. We like to get outside because of being inside because of the COVID-19 business that's going on, in which we're all secluded in our homes. And right now, if you could just hear a little bit of a voice, that would be Lynn, my wife, who is online right now, doing a Zoom with her people. I hope you don't hear the sounds of the saw. It just seems that every time I want to get started, they got that saw going. So let's round off, just start rounding off the hat a little bit. Get the corners out of there. Well, at this point in time, I think there's hopefully a lot of 4th of July celebration is not canceled. We're kind of still holding out, I suppose. holding on. Start running. Get some power in there. Start getting that hat rounded. And all the chunks that don't belong. I'm going to take this hair off a little bit here. This is the hair. Like I say, the corner, because I'm putting this on my leg as I'm bearing down. And it is not comfortable when you got these corners. Okay, let us continue. The hat is up. And reveal a little more of the face. This is an okay piece of wood, but it's still bearing down on some. No, it's not super hard, and it's not perfect either. A little more of that. Now I want to be careful about this hat, because his hat, this, if we're going according to the, I want you posters. Is it I want you, I need you, or? Anyways, the hat brim does go up a little bit, bends up. And we want to try to keep that in mind when we're doing this. Taking this out of here. It's always the top green that's always difficult, or always a lot of energy. That's doing my exercise for the day. And now the summer months coming, moisture is getting in the air. And so therefore it makes the wood kind of spongy looking. I've always hated the sound of the scrape, where you put the knife or the chisel in and it loses the cut and it lifts up and it just scrapes. This is always the first part, is always the roughing out. It's always the pain in the neck, because you got all this heavy wood you gotta push and get out of there. Some of that out of there. So the hat is starting to shape. I've decided not to take the table out, because the table, lately, as I put pressure on it, makes that thudding sound. So I'm rounding the hair back a little bit. This is the back of the head, just rounding, not, in other words, just taking lumber off. And as for the head, we could start, like I say, we always want this 90-degree angle going on. Now, since I think this is the first video I have in two pieces, where I have the head and the bust, I believe. I think my Viking was one piece, but so we can have the head going forward, or the nose going forward, because we can always move the head to however we want it. More than likely that even this bust, now it's not going to be exactly the I want you posters where he's looking forward and straight at you. This one here we can turn in any direction. Like I said, he's going to have flag in his hand. Now I've also had a Uncle Sam where I had him holding a bottle rocket. You could do that too. The bottle rocket's pretty easy, just to take a round or make a square peg into a round peg, and then you glue on a stick. But what you want to do is you want to carve into, nice relief into the circular part of the bottle rocket, so you can shove the stick in. And it's best to have, if you can get your hands on a square dowel instead of a round dowel, because most bottle rockets are square. And sometimes when I used to, if I happened to be walking the streets or doing something in the streets or parking lot or whatever after the 4th of July night celebration, and I happen to see like a large bottle rocket, it'll have a square dowel instead of a round dowel, and I'd keep that. I use that for, as a matter of fact, I use that for my Santa's ice skates. When I make a Santa that is ice skating, or any figure, works of course, is you just carve out the boot, and then later you attach the square blade onto it. So already we're getting kind of started here. That's a good thing about him, is he does not have a mustache. He's got a plain face, except for this goat tail beard. And as I've said before, when it comes to this quick roughing out, it's not really pretty. You got all these little things hanging out. So with that, like I said, this is still a fast-paced video, is we want to round this a bit. Let's round the hat. Getting to the hat. And what we got to do is what I should have done. We got to cut this back. Should have done that with the saw. Sorry about that. Doing just a little bit of undercutting while I'm rounding. Getting the undercutting of the round brim, or upward brim. There we go. 4th of July celebrations. Most of the time, as far back as I can remember, the 4th of July was always a nice sunny day. Rarely would it rain. There's a couple of times where, let's hurry up and get the fireworks off before it rains. And sometimes we've done that where the fireworks are off, they're done, and get in, and just in time before it starts raining. So it's always been pretty nice where I'm from here. Of course, I better be careful in saying that, because I think I may have said that to other people around here. No, I remember when it rained one time, and I remember when we were kids, day after 4th of July, we wake up early and go look for spent bottle rockets and other things. And maybe once in a while you'll see a dud that's got some powder in it. See if we can ignite it. I had a firecracker blow up in my hand once. That stung. Too bad I missed this. I was in the Navy. Matter of fact, I was in the boot camp in the Navy when this happened, and my parents sent me a picture. And it's, what is this? Looks like it's in the dark, and a car that's on fire. And, well, what the heck is that? And they had, my younger brother had a box of fireworks, and somehow, I don't know, one got lit, and bang, boom, bang, and there goes the car. I missed the whole calamity. Doing some more undercut here. Under scooping, see, just gonna put a little bit of a under scoop to it. Now I think that I'm getting close to, I don't know, I think I'll take this, I can leave that and take the saw to it, I might. Or should, yeah, because it's a undercutting. It's cutting the top half. But I just want to take out a little here, a little bit of the goat tail here, because it's getting close to knife time. And then I did drill a hole in the bust. It's large enough, but just enough to get a chisel in there if it's not big enough. It's really funny. I rewatched my Wizard Warzone. I really didn't pay attention to that. And yeah, a lot of times I was in here, I'm carving away, and this is what you do, and it should be a little easier. Like I said, I got this this boom style tripod in which now it's in front of my face. But when you bear down and all that kind of stuff. Now I want to round this up a bit. With the chisel here. I can start rounding because I know there's a lot more to it. I'll get the knife to it. I mean, I want to ducktail only a little bit, but I think that was for the nose and everything. Or the chin, the nose. I'll get more to that. This is starting to get, excuse me, roundness going on here. More chisel, more chips to the chip pile. I guess I don't want to. Get a more better 45-degree and 90-degree angle going on here. And there's Lynn, done with her meeting, looking out, wonder what I'm doing. What? We'll pretend she's not there. Moving on. Yeah, she does a lot of good carvings too, and a lot of times we. Oops, now she's got the cat in hand, and I got two cats that are always, I can't even leave the house and they're looking around for me. And so she'll lift up one of them. The one that always pesters us in other videos. The darker one. Ethel there. Okay, I think I am now going to take my knife and start making things a little rounder, and then we're going to start putting that face in already. All right, I can take, oh, excuse me, this off. My knife. Now I can start cleaning. We still in? you know what? This is a relatively hard piece of wood. I mean, it's not horribly hard, but enough for me to say, gats. Let's move here out of the sun a little bit. I mean, we want to be in the sun. We want sun, but not that much. That's one thing about sun, when you take your carvings out, like if you're gonna, I always take them out to spray in them. And with that, you see a lot of errors. Like I said, I have the pattern, should have the pattern. You should have it by now. Should. My favorite word. That's what I do, is I hurry up and kind of race to get these done and get them in pattern form. Instead of saying, here we go, and start carving, and what's the pattern? And what do we start with? Well, you start with a block of wood. That doesn't help. Shaping the bottom of the hat. This has got to go up just a little bit. Actually, not that much. I mean, I don't want to make a cowboy hat where you have this, the brim comes up and it goes flat this way. This is a top hat. This is not a cowboy hat, so it's going to go up all the way around. All the way around. That's what we're doing, kind of cleaning it up a little bit as we go. Shape a little more later. I just want to get the huge gist out first, and then we can adjust in shape. And oops, careful. Not only did I feel the pressure, you know, when you dig in and your knife or chisel doesn't move, that's when you got to watch out. That's when you got that snap, and there goes the fingers. Every once in a while, some of the birds will come up on the bird feeder behind me, taking the chance. Or either that, do I look dead or something? Or okay, there's a good start on the brim of the hat. Yeah, so a lot of wood carving shows and classes are canceled and way in the future. And I mean, at this time of the Wood Carving Congress in Iowa has been canceled, and I've been looking forward to it. That's the one place that I actually like to go as a student instead of a teacher. I like to see other people's ways of doing things. No matter whatever level you're at, even if you're at a high level of carving, you always want to get some instructing. Don't be one of these that say, I never took a class. Well, I don't want to argue with you, but sometimes people will say they never take a class, and you look at their stuff, and I mean, we're not to judge, but best I could say is, yep, you are one who has never took a class. I will not doubt it. but it's good to, like I said, there's always one thing that an instructor will teach you, will show you, that aha moment of something new or something you never knew. And you don't know until you get there. Once in a while, you'll also be sitting with somebody in the class, and he or she might see something. Especially, a lot of times if you've been in the classes, and a lot of times the instructor is pretty darn busy with a lot of people, and you get one person, you can say, well, how do you do this? And that person will show you. And then you can talk to the instructor later. But, I mean, my teaching techniques is, unless I'm, on somebody or showing somebody, it's just anytime you don't understand, or how do you do this, or how do you do that, I'll jump right in. There's no timing, or you jump right in. Okay, we're just beginning to round the hat a piece, a bit. Like I said, I'm going to take the saw to that. It's going to clean this a bit. We can start cleaning some of this while we're on the hat. Oops. Okay. I'm going to clean up the hat just one more time. Get up there because I want to make sure I have as much below the hat brim that I can use for a face. Here's what I want to do. Careful when you get to the side here. Now it's getting a little more peaceful out here, and the birds and yeah, there's that house that's up the block I was telling you about with the jackhammer, and oh my goodness, it looks just like a house on stilts, where they really took all the concrete out of that basement. Wow. Okay, well, if they know what they're doing. Okay, let's do a thus far and get out of there. A little more cleaning and shaping. Well, I suppose just a little more shaping of the hair a little bit. Just a little bit, like take the saw marks off, like almost like we know what we're doing, kind of a thing. Or at least give that impression. Okay, then there's the underneath here. Take the saw marks off. Because once we get the saw marks off and the shaping done, we can start doing some round one detailing, and that is the head. I'm just going to take the saw marks off, a little bit of shape in here before I start with the face, because then I think as the face gets in, and then we have a better understanding of what's going on here. And the chin and all that stuff here. Now I want to give a quick, just let's round the peg here. Round and clean up the peg just a little bit here. So when we're ready to shape it, we'll just shape the peg to fit and don't have to start from scratch then. Now, because there's going to be a lot of cutting back, I want to be careful about this goat tail beard of his is because I don't want to make it too thin. It's going to thin out pretty nicely, and that's why I intentionally sawed it with a little bit of thickness, so we can. So then when we are futzing around with other things, we don't grab a hold of it and break it. So that's going to probably be one of the darn close to one of the last things we do on this, on the head part. Yeah, that's going to be the most time-consuming part, is the fitting the head on the bust. A little bit of my long hair is getting into my eye there. I think we're going to be needing some other chisels on this, but at least we're getting the feel of it. Take a little bit of the, I think I already did take some saw marks off. I think I did. A little bit of rounding, but I'm going to leave it at that. Okay. Like I said, we're going to get at the face. I want to make couple more swipes here to prep for it. Like I said, we're going to go 90, well, close to a 90-degree angle. Doesn't have to be exact, but I know this is kind of a bump here because the nose is up here. All right, put the knife down and we'll go ahead and look at it while I reach for my water bottle that I do not see. And uh-oh. I know I brought it out, didn't I? No. Well, let's continue on. There's always something. Every time I sit down, ready to go. Hello, my name is... Oh, I forgot that. One time I forgot my favorite knife. Okay, here's the... See, the face is a little smaller than you think it is. So... Oh, this was, like I said, this is from one of my first busts that I did of Uncle Sam, and what I've even done was, oh, there's a lot of, because there's still some chin. Oh, geez, yeah, that's why this has got to go away, because there's still some chin here. Let's be mindful of that. And what I did, it was kind of a little stocky, but I took my Photoshop and I stretched it out a bit. The head and everything. Actually a little bit, not too much. And that doesn't look good. Here, that doesn't look right. Don't you just hate that when you're gonna pencil one spot but the side of the pencil goes on the upper part of the wood there, uppercut. So and again, a lot of this is going to come off. I think I overestimated where the nose was going to be. There. Now we can see that. Again, here's the pencil, or here's the eye is going to actually be, these are pretty even on both sides. Here to here, maybe a little bit more this way. We got a little breeze going, so I better watch my figure there. Now it does appear if we give him a big honker, because the chin is going to come down more, and therefore the mouth is going to be like right about here. So we got the chin going down here some more, but we want to start off, and I'll give him more nose. We can always bring the nose up. Yeah. We can also bring the eyes up a little more too. Now, like I said, I've done this a billion times on my videos. I'll just go through it quick. Just let's get the eye socket going. Let's get the nose in there. Should I zoom just a little bit? Just, but I really got to make sure that I'm always here. Like I said, I kind of reviewed again my Warzard and how way off it was. And I also have to remember to keep my schmuck here, my apron, in front of me, because what it did then too was it would autofocus to the deck. Here we go. So that's why sometimes the pattern that I give you is different than what I start with, because a lot of times I have extra for me to work with. Sometimes when I saw it out, I'm not paying attention. But my saw I have, it's a big saw. I don't remember what brand. It isn't a Delta, but anyways, the guides are broken, and I cannot do a perfect round. All I can do is just kind of these square. And one of these days I'm going to get a new one. As a matter of fact, there was another one I was going to look at, but can't go until this virus issue is done. Get a new saw. And it's kind of interesting how if you're looking at this like 3-4 years from its originally put it on YouTube, you know, it's like, oh man, I remember that. The COVID-19, which is one of the main reasons why I'm out here outside here, just to get out, even though I'm on the porch. So it's like I'm in, yet I'm out. I don't know. I am technically about 10 feet from the back door. Now we got something like that. Now he does kind of look like an alien, so we want a nice sharp, well, not too sharp, of a eagle's nose, eagle's beak. He does have a larger nose, so you can probably make it a larger nose if you wish. And then I like to just round the nostrils just a little bit. Is good. Now what I like to do before we move forward, or actually anywhere else, is I'd like to get one of my nice chisels out. One of my round chisels, a number 9-ish. It is a 9, so it's not ish. And I want to round the head a little bit here. First I went around the nostril, just a little bit. I want to make sure he still's got a large nose. And then I want to, like I said, about a 45-degree angle this way. I'm getting some of that knife marks off, and I'm digging deeper too, which makes his nose even bigger because we got plenty of head back there. We can make that a nice schnoz as we dig a little deeper here. All right, we got some heavy machinery coming in up the block. I don't know whose. I hope we don't have to go inside, but I just like being outside. Yep, he's coming to a stop. Here we go. We got the backing up. So that's me coming to a break pretty soon anyways, and see what happens. There we go. Oh, got a bird behind me. Shh. He's eating. Shh. Yeah, he's still there. Okay, I forgot, but we won't forget now. Upside down. For the nostril holes here. You know, it's really interesting. I mean, when I was in Washington, D.C., and going to one of those outside, I don't want to say coffee shops, but, you know, sandwich places, and holy smokes, those house sparrows, they are right at your foot. Where here, the sparrows here, they look at me and they're gone. Yeah, he's gone. Anyways, good, because he'd be gone. I'm going to start making some movement here. Now we want to put the head in, the face in. Now this is one thing that's different from the Santa, is that he's got some good cheekbones going on there. Cheekbones and thin jaw. So we want to be mindful of that. Let's just kind of, I just want to get this, I'll start with the pencil almost like I'm doing a Santa. Because I want, just to get started here, let's get the general look, but then of course he's going to go on. Wait, still in? He's going to go on like this. And I'm going to give him as full chin and beard as we can, because then the mouth will be about here. Maybe a little smile. He's happy. It's 4th of July. He's happy. He's not a tread on me or don't tread on me. Sorry, don't tread on me kind of guy. Now we want to thin this a little bit and make sure this goes out. Thin this and this goes out. He's got some sharp cheeks and or cheekbones. So let's just bring this out a little more. How does that look? Decent. Sort of, kind of, mostly. Ship it, throw it. Let's put the eye socket. I want to put the eye line back in. Like I said, we can always move the eyes up just a little bit if we wanted to. There he goes. Now we're starting to see Uncle Sam. There he is. I'm going to do the same thing I do with my Santas, and I hope I can do this without a glove. I'm going to, instead of taking your V-chisel and going straight down, you want to have the blade up and a blade out. Careful. Blade up, blade out. Same thing here. Blade up. This blade is up. That blade is out. Getting the shaping going on here, and then overhead it just take the outer blade, take a little bit more off. Blade up. Blade out. Now here, I'm just gonna I'll just go straight up and down for now, because again, that's gonna be some shaping. I just want a little bit of chin with the beard, because the beard is actually right here, so I probably didn't, we still got plenty, but it's a good thing we didn't go too deep. Okay, now, here goat, we're gonna put down straight down. Like such. Blade, stop, cut, oh, did I miss that? Straight down. And what we want to do next, push the camera out a little bit, is we're gonna get a lot of this, or not a lot, but some of this off. Now we're gonna do this, he's gonna not have an ear. He's not gonna have ears. So I wanna make sure we got plenty of hair. Don't go too far back. Because remember, the ear, you start the ear about half back on the skull. So we still got all of this to play with, but we still want to make sure we give them some sideburns there, a little bit of sideburns. Same with here, just getting the head shaped. Getting rid of this, let's do this first. And get some more of this off. This off in here. It's still not good. Okay, this is just getting the feel here. Let's just round and take some of the pencil marks off. This one here, just like what we did here, we want to do this way and that way to give that a three-dimensional. Let's do this thing here. This way, that way at the eye line. Just rounding. Okay. Next, what we want to do here, now before we do that, let's take a look at our, where are you? Side. Come on. Don't hurt yourself now. Pencil. Let's take some more hair off before we go forward. See the hair. See, we're okay, we're relatively okay. We can go back a little bit, but we want to go about a straight down or a little bit of back. Let's go a little back, sorry. Almost straight down. About here, just a little bit back. In other words, if you went straight down, we could still shape it if we wanted to go back, because we want to get the chin going on here, cheek going on here, pardon me. So what's going to happen, now you can even get started with a chisel. Oh, a lot of times I just use the V and the knife. Hey, I just got the chisel here. I just been inspired for all you people who like to do the chisel. You can chisel all that out. Or of course you take the knife, which we will later on. We just want to get the major stuff out of here. Yeah. As a matter of fact, at this point on the calendar, the 4th of July is coming up, like I mentioned. But yesterday was the 75th anniversary of VE Day. So Uncle Sam was pretty happy then.